At least somebody finds me interesting. Good. Well, I love having y'all here, and I hope what we've gone through so far this year has been super helpful. Um, and then again, I big goal is don't want to create overwhelm. So I hope there's at least just one thing that you feel like you can take away from tonight that we talk about. As the title says, move well, live well. Now, I don't know, I think some of y'all that have been around me for a while have probably heard me say this at some point in life, but I say that motion is lotion. Anybody ever heard me say that before? Okay, cool. Every day, Laura's like, I get sick and tired. No. But, if you think about it, living creatures move. Our life is about movement. We were designed and created to move, to do things, to be active. We're, human beings. And when we stop moving, that's where we can see a lot of health challenges start to creep into our life. Even just how society is set up, like we do so much sitting, so much inactivity. Many people, they get up, they get in their car, they drive to work, then they go and they sit at a computer desk for 8 to 10 hours a day, get back in the car, drive home, sit in front of a TV, and then go to bed and rinse and repeat. So a big part of being, with life, we have to be more intentional about moving, especially if you think about, okay, what are my habits? What does my day consist of? Am I moving enough? And probably the answer is no. But the cool thing is, like, how God designed us, like if we just take certain steps and just add in a little bit more movement, it'll make a massive difference for our health. So even the idea of like what we're going to go through today too, there's going to be some things that I talk about and give you, but there's always modifications. So I always encourage people to listen to your body and start somewhere, start anywhere. So an example, like I encourage people, hey, squatting is a great exercise. It goes through full range of motion. It's a very functional exercise. But for some people, being able to get into that full depth and squat like that is not going to happen. So, right. So here's a modification for you. Look at the name. Okay. So we call it a potty squatty, a potty squat. And so the idea is, even like with the squat, okay, if you don't feel like I can get into that good depth like we want you to, got caught up at my table, then doing a functional, okay, I'm going to sit into a chair, and then that's how I'm going to start. So that'll allow you, though, to get more range of motion than maybe if you just tried to do it yourself because you're concerned about, like, where am I going to sit? Am I going to fall? And so starting with the chair. And then, maybe it's a higher chair, and then over time you get it lower and lower to where then you're getting that full depth and range of motion that we want to. So an important thing with a squat, and it has this on the picture, is you want your back to stay in a neutral position. We don't want to be hinged over. We want to be able to stay upright, and then your knees, for the most part, should stay right in line with your toes. So we don't want to get this super forward lean. What will help with that too is as you're squatting, about hip width apart or a little further, and then turn your toes out. And then as you're squatting, you actually push the knees out like that, and that creates clearance in the hips. So let's do this real quick. So if you feel comfortable, I want you to do the full squat. The goal is you want to go be below parallel. For some of you, when we have chairs, and that's why I have a chair, do a chair squat. Okay, the potty squatty. So go ahead and just keep an eye. Beautiful. Okay, good. And that's where modifications, like you just listen to your body and you do what you can. So that is the squat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 of those together, and then push-ups. Now, does anyone not like push-ups? Not feel comfortable doing push-ups? Okay. Great. So instead, do you feel like you could do like this? Do you feel like you could do that? Or even on a wall like that. Do you feel like you could do that? Okay, so I got space. So I want y'all to spread out. You can use my traction tables. If you want still an elevated, you could use the chair. I'd recommend not using those chairs, but you can grab a traction table, you can grab a wall, or you can grab the floor if you want to do the floor. So just everyone go ahead and attempt a push-up. Yeah, you could do it here. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead, show me. Yep. And then let those elbows track. Yeah, and a little bit more like by your side.
Okay.
And like that.
Too far out?
Yep. Well, that's fine. And then really try and use the arms and the chest and trying to put more weight. Good. And then push up. Full extension. Do you feel some activation there? Okay. Anybody need any help, questions? Okay. Good. Looking good, Jen. Yeah, love it. Okay, cool. So just stay where you're at. If you need a chair, does anyone need a chair for their squats? Do you want a chair for your squats?
Probably just sit there.
Okay, just sit onto that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do around 10 squats, 5 push-ups, back to 10 squats, and then 5 push-ups. Everyone feel comfortable doing that? Anyone not want to? You don't have. No one has to do anything. 2 sets. Let me hit the music for us to go. Okay, so on your pace, and go ahead and do your squats. So 10 squats, and just modify and do what you can. And then after you do 10 squats, you're going to do 5 push-ups. And then the push-ups. Great. Once you do 5 push-ups, you'll go back into the squats. And then after 10 squats, 5 push-ups. Feeling that burn in the triceps?
Yes.
Good. Good. Look, you're doing push-ups. Probably something a couple months ago you didn't think you'd be doing. Once everyone's done, five. Oh, no, we're done. Yeah, 2 sets. Okay. I'll come back. All right, so who feels smarter? Anybody feel smarter? I feel a little smarter. So, the big thing with exercise is the more we can get you through a full range with the exercise, the better. So that's why modifications allow you to also progress. Because like doing a full push-up, like me, might not be doable for y'all. But that's where, again, modify. So for some, it's going to be a knee push-up like that. Or then like y'all did, wall, chair, and then over time, trying to get more and more horizontal like that. But most importantly, full range. So you want your chest to touch and then arms to fully extend. So none of this, like if you've ever seen videos of guys doing push-ups, they're like, oh, I can do 100 push-ups, and then all they're doing is that. That is not a push-up. And I would say they had no reps the whole time. So I'm going to talk about a challenge if y'all want to participate, and it involves squats and push-ups at the end. But cool part is y'all all are just smarter now. Over time, as you do exercise, they've shown that that helps grow new nerve cells, improves learning and memory, and that if you're sedentary compared to exercising, 2.5 times more new nerve cells will be produced. So even if you want to translate this to kids or grandkids and they're having a hard time with learning, incorporate exercise into the learning, and it will help them with focus and concentration. It's a big problem with our education. Most kids, again, they go and they sit. They have all this pent-up energy. It's no wonder they're having a hard time focusing, concentrating, getting diagnosed with certain learning disabilities because they ain't moving their bodies. Now, here's another good thing for y'all to add. Any of y'all sit for work? You got one? No, I don't. Okay. So these are on Amazon. It's called a wobble cushion. So wobble exercises. These are great, especially if you do a lot of desk work and you sit a lot. You can buy one of these. They come deflated, and then they have a little, where is it? Little bike pump needle that you then pump it up. This one is more the size and inflatedness of if you're going to do some exercise. If you just want to sit on this at the office, maybe a little less air would be what I recommend. But this is really good for your discs and your spine. So as you sit on this, you can go through full range of motion. And so you like actually take your spine and shift like this. And then you can do forward and back, and then also rotation. And then you can even just move your hips, like figure 8 style. So this is another big thing, like I recommend, especially if you have a desk job, getting one of these. But also for home, it's a great way to stimulate the brain through full spine movement. So again, you're taking, because sometimes standing and doing these type of movements, it can be difficult for people. But when you sit, one, a little bit better stability, and then you're able to get your hips to move and activate a little bit more and get through some full range of motion. Cool? So seated wobble exercises is one of my favorite. So again, wobble cushion, if you look that up on Amazon, you'll find those. You can pick your color too. I think they have hot pink, maybe. Now the wobble cushion too, and you can look up online, they have other things too. Like if you want to work on your balance, you can use this. And I wouldn't have it as inflated as I have it, but you can use it as a balance exercise too.
We actually have some of those in our studio, but I didn't realize that's what they were for.
Uh-huh.
I've never seen anybody use them.
Ah, okay, yeah. So and you can also like even,
Caroline playing with them like
right.
ball.
Well, and the cool thing too, you can like create, like with your squat, another level for the squat. Also, you know, like with lunges, that type of stuff too. But that's another like higher level type of exercise. But this just for spinal hygiene is a really good tool to help with hydrating the discs. So for some people, if you wake up stiffer in the morning, getting on that, moving your hips around can really help get things flowing and get moving. So another thing I love to promote is just getting out and walking. And I think it's undervalued exercise, but they've shown through research out of the British Journal of Sports Medicine, and this is like 2001, so we've known this for a very long time, but if you walk for 30 minutes a day, you know, good vigorous walk, I'm not talking about the Olympics, you know, speed walking, but just getting out and walking 30 minutes a day will improve your symptoms faster than taking an antidepressant drug. Yeah, and even better if you go with someone that you care about. So if you can find a partner to walk with, cool. If you walk by yourself, great. Just getting going. But this right there, if that's your one takeaway, is you know, you're like, I can commit to walking 30 minutes a day, fantastic. That will help your overall exercise and your capability. And then I wanted to layer it, add some weight when you walk. So that can be as simple as, I don't know if y'all have seen these like weighted vests. So you can buy a weighted vest to put on. And so that's another thing, because some people like, okay, I can walk for 30 minutes. I don't feel like I get a very good exercise. Adding 5, 10, 20 pounds will take that walking exercise. It'll get your heart rate up and make it even more effective. But again, that is something I think most people can do as they're getting healthier, is get out and walk for 30 minutes. You can also, like, there's this sport called rucking. Y'all heard of that term? So they get these backpacks and they put weight in them. Some guys are carrying around 100 pounds of weight in their backpacks and then going out and hiking. So that would be another layer to add. So as you start, okay, walking is getting easy. Throw some weight on, and you'll see the difference for your cardiovascular system, and then also building muscle strength. And then one other layer on top of that is a very functional exercise called farmer's carry. Now, why do you think they call it a farmer's carry? I think we got some people that are familiar with the farm. Carrying feed, carrying all different types of things. This is a very functional exercise. Again, it's incorporating walking, but then adding some weight that you have to hold is going to help strengthen the arms at the same time that you're exercising. And so that's where you can say, okay, I'm going to walk for 100 yards with the weight, set it down, walk a little bit, come back, pick it up, and go again. So super functional. And a lot of what I want to focus on is functional things. Now, this is another exercise, and some of y'all might have done something like this in the office. It is shoulder abduction. So let's be honest, how many of y'all bring your shoulders up overhead on a daily basis? Okay, good. Probably because we've shown you how to do some of that too in the office. But I wanted to remind you of this because this is actually a very functional movement. When you bring your arms up over your head, it's not just activating your shoulders, it's actually activating your lower back and your hips. Because anytime the shoulders come away from the body, the opposite lower back will activate to keep you in place and stabilize you. If that didn't happen, you'd fall over due to the weight of the arm. And so doing this helps not just with the shoulders, but also helps to strengthen the lower back, and then you're going to get neck activation as well. This next exercise, posterior lateral neck exercises. And think about it too, in a day, most of us don't do much rotating and looking over our shoulders. So this exercise, you're taking your thumb, and then you're bringing and looking back as far as you can go. So let me have y'all stand. Let's try this one. Some of y'all, I think we've done this in the office with, but make sure you don't slap your neighbor. So you take your thumb right out in front, and then you bring the arm back, and then as you bring the arm back, you follow it with your eyes, and then try and bring it right behind you as far as you can go. And then it's not just a straight to the side, there's also a little bit of an arc to it, because you want it to go upwards a little bit too. Yeah, that's great. Lisa, great. Yeah, and then try and go up a little bit higher with it. Yeah. So start low, and then as you go back, bring it up like that.
Okay.
How did that feel?
I feel good.
Okay, cool. And then you'll do both sides. Now with this one, I'm usually recommending about 10 reps, both directions. Cool. And then let's try that shoulder abduction exercise. And then at the top, you'll actually extend the arms out a little bit further too, up overhead. Cool, good. So those are functional exercises, believe it or not, and it's full range of motion. So you're really helping brush your spine when you do these type of exercises. And there's going to be strengthening too, because like this exercise, you're having to activate the shoulders. Then as you come back, you're activating the back muscles to get kind of that further range of motion, if that makes sense. Okay, let's try a hip hinge deadlift. And this is very functional because once, time that you accidentally drop something on the floor and you got to pick it up, right? Kind of annoying. So a deadlift is a great exercise. And so it's important when you deadlift, we're not hinging and just picking up. You're going to squat. And then everything rises together. What'd you feel?
Pain.
Okay.
Not pain. It just feel like it pulled.
Okay. So with that, you want to feel that the shoulders and the hips go together. So it's like the squat, but then you're taking it further and then reaching and then picking something up. So you can, again, just practicing the deadlift, and then you can add, like without weight is a great exercise, but then you can start to add weight. And you don't have to have much equipment. You got a gallon jug of water at home. That can be the weight that you lift, but doing those different type of things. Any questions on the deadlift? And as y'all start doing these, we are here as a resource. So if you hurt yourself doing them, let us know.
You're coming to see me anyway, so you'll just
my
fix
back.
it.
I couldn't do it over
Yep.
here because it hurt my back so bad.
Yep.
Asked Jennifer, I could not move, could not stand, I had to sit all the time.
Okay.
But it's gotten where it doesn't hurt now, so I can move.
Perfect. And that's where, as you guys start feeling better too, yes. Love to hear that. And that's all the glory of God right there. He's helping you heal. I love that. So y'all can have a seat again. As you're getting these things, and I have a whole PDF document that we're going to email out to y'all tonight that has a lot of these exercises in them. And then if you have your app too, and you want us to, we don't want to overwhelm people in the app, but if you want us to upload a lot of these things too, you can ask us and we'll put them in there for you as well. But you'll have a printout that you can, like, it'll have the exercises, how to do them, those type of details, so you can have them separate from some of the rehab we might have been doing with you in the office too. You can give me a dry erase marker out of the room real quick. I forgot to do this. We're going to talk briefly about soft tissue recovery and then be done tonight. Any y'all foam roll at all? Foam roll?
Foam roller. Oh.
Give me one of those. I forgot to put that up here. Okay, so let's talk briefly about how the body recovers from injuries, because this is either has happened to you or is going to happen to you at some point in your life. So normal soft tissue structure, like your muscles, your ligaments, are going to have this type of a pattern when they're healthy. Can y'all see that? I can move this. Okay. So that would be a normal, like if we looked at your muscles or ligaments underneath the microscope, a lot of the normal fibrous structure that we would want to see. Because the muscles, as they activate, are going to like slide and glide. And then even the ligaments too have a structure where, you know, as you move your neck, they're going to kind of expand and then contract back into their normal position. Now, when you have trauma that can happen from like a whiplash injury, concussions, different things like that, but even like poor posture and sitting for extended periods of time, that can cause rips and tears in the soft tissue. So especially some of the bigger traumas like a whiplash injury, that can cause things to get distorted and out of whack. And then two, what will happen is, depending on the severity of the injury, your body, instead of going back to here, is going to lay down scar tissue to try and stabilize the area. And so you'll get these other fibers that are laid into the body like that. Now, scar tissue, problem with it is it's weaker, it's less elastic, and it's prone to future injuries. So some people like that sprain an ankle, for example, it's more common then for them to then sprain that ankle again. And that's because if their body didn't heal appropriately, it's left with this. And that's not going to slide and glide. And that's not going to resist certain forces near as well as this does. So that's why, you know, even things that we've done with you in the office, the goal is trying to get you back as close to that structure as possible. So promotion of, like, when you do the dinner roll, for example, the dinner roll helps to promote recovery from this type of soft tissue injuries and helping it to creep back into more of a normal position. But two, then stretches, the exercise, and then I'm a big fan of foam rolling, and this can help to break into some of the scar tissue and the adhesions that your body forms, and over time help it to recover. Now, for some people, I'm not saying, you know, you're going to get back to that depending on the severity of the injury, but the good thing is your body can recover if you help it to do so. And so that's why, you know, going and getting massages can be helpful, because those professionals can get in and work on some maybe older injuries, scar tissue wise, but you can also do self-massage. So one of my favorite exercises is a thoracic roll. So this is a foam roll, and it's going to be like rigid. It's harder. Now the challenge I know for some of y'all might be getting on the floor. So you can do some of these things modified by like leaning up against the wall like that, and then doing this exercise like that. Same thing with some of the lower extremity exercises, and it's going to be a little harder, but you can attempt it, or attempt some of them in the bed. But my favorite is the thoracic one, where you're just rolling up and down like that. Oh yeah, I got quite a few just in that little bit of time. So this is called the thoracic release. And then you also have like hamstring release, calf release, quad release. If y'all have your phones on you, my good friend Ariel, she owns a massage place, but she does a more detailed walkthrough of how to foam roll in a video format. So if you want, you can scan that QR code, and that will take you to her YouTube page. It's a free video. And then if you want a massage therapist, I would go to either Ariel at Competitor's Edge or Will Hall at Goodwill Massage. I'll give you all a second to get that. Cool. And foam rolling is more of an advanced technique because, again, like I said, you're having to get on the floor and there's some activation, but it can be a good exercise not only releasing muscles, but building some strength because you're going to have to support yourself in some of these moves in certain ways. But it can be a good place to start, again, with helping the soft tissue to heal as well. And again, my handout's going to have a lot of those different foam rolling options. And then Ariel in her video gets a little bit more into some of the upper body stuff that you can do as well. I have a few of those in that handout, but not all of them. Now, if you want to join, starting tomorrow, we're going to do a 30-day push-up and squat challenge. So we're also going to send this out to y'all. And what it is over the next 30 days, you're going to I can't say it. Can you say it? Incrementally increase the amount that you're doing in a day. Now, these don't have to be done all in one setting. The idea is, you're just trying to knock out sets here and there throughout the day. It's like the first day is 40 squats and 16 push-ups, and then day 2 is 45 squats and 18 push-ups, and then 50 squats and 20 push-ups, and then you get a rest day. And so it actually breaks over the 30 days. You have 3 days on and then a rest day. So you're not even doing 30 days straight of this build. You get periodic rest day, one if you need to catch up because you missed a day, or 2, just to allow your body to rest and recover. Because for me, I work out 5 days a week, but then I also rest for 2. So those rest days are just as important as then the days that you're exercising because you want your body to be able to recover. So there's that balance. But things to think about too with movement, at least 3 days a week if you're wanting to help your body see physical change and improvement. But the best is usually getting into that more 5 to 6 days a week. But 100%, you don't want to do 7 days a week. At least, and God said it in his Bible, you need a day of Sabbath, day of rest from work, from activity, sometimes from screaming kids. No. So we'll send that out. I'm going to start tomorrow, and we're going to just knock that out. And the modifications that I showed you how to do, that's where you start. And you might notice by the end of the 30 days that you've gone from being on the wall to maybe now you're at an incline and you're doing it on a table. Or you might go from the table to then being able to do knee push-ups. Most importantly, though, if you're going to do this, do your best to do full range of motion. So again, if you don't feel like you can do full range of motion, modify to the point that you can do full range. And then same thing with the squat is if you're unstable, then do a chair. But a lower chair too will allow you might fall into it just a little bit, but it will allow you to get closer to full range than if you're just doing an air squat and you're just doing a quarter squat. And that's why the chair can be super beneficial because it can help you get lower than maybe you would do on your own. Great. So let's make sure I'll get you the handout. We'll get that sent out. And then we'll text or send this out to y'all as well. Any questions tonight? I'll open it up. Okay. I like to end this with a takeaway. I'm not going to pick on you tonight. Yes. Yeah. I'll make sure it happens tonight. Anybody want to share a takeaway or a thing that they're like, yeah, I'm going to do that? A commitment? All right. Sweet. And the cool, this, just think about breaking it down. So if I know I can do 5 push-ups in a row, great, do 5 push-ups. And then it's just, throughout the day. Or if you want to knock it out, just do sets like we did tonight. I'm going to do 10 squats. I'm going to do 5 push-ups. I'm going to go back, do my squats. then I'm going to do my push-ups. Breaking it up that way too versus like I'm going to do all my squats and then I'm going to do all my push-ups makes it a lot easier and more doable, if that makes sense. So especially as you get up here, but I would love to see, you know, for y'all, if you do this challenge with us, where you feel like your health gets to. And then two, maybe committing to walking, you know, and with the walking, it's like, okay, I'm going to do 30 minutes 3 days a week, or I'm going to do 30 minutes 5 days a week. And then, okay, now it's feeling good. Now I'm going to add some weight on as I walk and do that side of things too. Yeah. So, okay, that's it. That's all I got for you tonight. Look forward to next week. In 2 weeks, we're going to do thinking well. So tips and tricks to help with the mental state and stress and how to manage that and just continue to take off. And if you got people you know that would benefit, bring them. But you don't have to. Just here to help disseminate information. That's my wife, by the way.